Hello, my name is Sam Feltham, and welcome to Expert Interviews here on Smash the Fat. With me today is an interesting chap that I got an email from about a month ago, I think it was, talking about his new energy bar. And kind of when you think of energy bars, you instantly think, okay, they kind of put on the packet that they're high in protein, but really they're kind of laden with hidden sugars and things like that. But then this guy just started going on about how it's going to be the first energy bar that's going to be marketed as high in fat. So that perked my interest, took a look at it, and I'm happy to introduce to you the CEO of Phi Bars. It's Nick Jasset. How's it going, Nick?
Doing great. How are you?
Oh, good. All good. And I pronounced your last name correctly? It's Jasset,
Yep.
or is it? Yeah. Perfect. Cool, man. Phi Bars. It's a new company, and it's not fully fledged yet, because what you're trying to do with the newest full fat energy bar is by trying to get together some investor money through Indiegogo, so that you can launch it onto the market as much as you can. Tell us about Phi Bar and how it came into conception.
Absolutely. So the genesis of the idea comes from a few places. Probably the first, I should probably start out by saying how I got interested in the high-fat diet and sort of counter-conventional nutrition to begin with. And the story for that's pretty simple. I started out as a CrossFit athlete after playing ice hockey at the varsity level in Middlebury College, and a huge contingency of the CrossFit community is involved in the paleo diet. So got into the paleo diet, started looking at that, and then my girlfriend began studying nutrition at the Tufts School, where she sort of got involved in a lot of different things that came at it with my sort of counter typical culture paleo mindset. And so from there, just got me into reading the likes of Weston Price, Gary Taubes, Peter Attia, people like that. And so then fast forward a few years, and I'm working pretty long hours at an investment bank here in Boston, and just stuck to a desk, and still trying to get in the gym as often as I can, but recognizing that I can't sit at the office and pound Cliff bars or power bars all day. That I need to be eating something different. So I started eating nuts and other things, and I still really like the convenience of the energy bar model. I like just being able to go to the cabinet and pull something down, and look pretty heavily for a bar that would be high in fat, for a bar that was consistent with the ketogenic diet, or at least something that wasn't going to be full of carbs, wasn't going to spike my insulin, something that was going to give me sustained energy. And really just plain and simple, we couldn't find one, and I knew that I wanted one, so we went to the kitchen and started messing around and trying to come up with different recipes that would taste okay. And we limited ourselves in a few ways. We knew we wanted the bar to be high in fat, and we were aiming for about a 50% fat to 25% carbs to 25% protein ratio. So that was a big limiting factor. And we also knew that we wanted real whole food. So we didn't want to do any sort of like glucose-infused water to get the bar to stick together. And we wanted to stay away from any grains as well. So no oats, just because those are inflammatory for some people, and also not high in fat given their individual macronutrient profiles. So came out with the current bar that we have, which you can see on the website. It's the dark chocolate macadamia. It's delicious, and it was good enough for me to eat at work every day. And so he said, no, why don't we make a run at this, and let's see if the market's ready for a high fat bar.
Fantastic, and I hope that it is. And just so the folks know, Phi Bar is spelled Phi, Phi being the symbol for the golden ratio, and that's kind of where the name stems from, doesn't it?
Correct.
And was that, obviously that was a deliberate move in terms of the fact that a higher fat bar with a lower carb content would be the golden ratio?
Well, yeah, so that we're playing on a few things, and the naming of the bar was a really dynamic process. We at least in the States, and it seems like it's the case in the U.S., there's a strong stigma against dietary fat, perhaps because it sounds a lot like body fat. And so we thought for a while about calling the bar the fat bar, and we knew we wanted the situational focus as well. And so we really played with a few different things, and I don't know how we ended up settling on looking into this realm of naming statutes, but we came onto Phi, and the golden ratio, it just seemed to fit in a lot of different ways. So the golden ratio is something specific. It's not exactly emulated in what we have, but the ethos of Phi is represented in what we have. It's an idea that is simple, and it's timeless, and there's something about it that's natural, and it's also natural is also a word that we wanted to take back. Natural is something that's been stigmatized a lot like fat, and it's lost a lot of its meaning. And so we sort of took it's not really a synonym for natural, but it gets the same ethos across in a bit more of a powerful way. So the idea of a better and improved ratio of macronutrients, absolutely in there, and the idea of natural is also absolutely in there as well.
Fantastic. And folks can go check out the Indiegogo fundraising page if they go to smashthefat.com/PHI bar, so Phi bar, and then that will take you through to the Indiegogo page, which you've got a great video of kind of you know, how you come up with the bar, and it's a nice fun video to watch. So what was that like creating?
That was a blast. We actually were super fortunate to have a family friend who had a great camera, save us a ton of money. So anybody, as I'm sure you know, starting a business, that's pretty tough to come by the capital that you need. And any sort of favors that we get like that are enormously helpful. So yeah, we worked on the script for a while, drove out western Massachusetts, about 3 hours, during which I memorized the script. We got out there and we kind of just did take after take. And we had a few friends out there who you'll see at the end of the video. I have to give props to them because they were so patient waiting for us to do the video for that one scene at the end where they all pop in, and there's that cute line, "For a body at rest, this bar's the best." It was a blast. It was a great time filming. Had a lot of fun, and I think the whole team really enjoyed the experience.
Fantastic. So a lot of our listeners and viewers will know about our low-carb persuasion and why you'd want to be having a low-carb, higher-fat diet, in terms of, especially if you're a sedentary person. The lower carb you go, the more dependent on your body fat and dietary fat that you become for energy, so you become a more efficient fat burner. And that's kind of obviously the idea with Phi bars, is that it's appropriate for the office worker, basically. And you've got several different levels in terms of how people can invest in terms of you know, getting a bunch of bars and becoming a fully fledged investor. So just take us through kind of the main investment levels that people can do through Indiegogo.
Absolutely. So one of them I will steer you away from, but we'll wait till we get there. The first level is just selfless support, and so any amount that you give up into $25 is just advancing the cause of high-fat diets, and specifically through Phi bar. So you would just sort of go on, make a quick investment, and you would be given a virtual high five, and we'd send you a personalized thank you note. The first level of investment that gives you access to the bars is $25, and that gives you a half box of bars, which is 6 bars, sort of all packed in a corrugated box in packaging and shipped to you. The next level is $45, which gives you a full box of bars at about $12, and then you kind of tier up. There's some interesting ones in there. At $150 US, you get a couple boxes of bars, as well as a link to an unlisted video of us singing you a song thanking you for giving us the capital that we need to get this off the ground. Up to $500, we have a special delivery option, which involves one of the founders of Phi bringing you a couple boxes of bars directly to your door and shaking your hand and saying thank you. And then lastly, we have the $1,000 naming rights, which is pretty interesting for a few corporates that we've been speaking with that are looking to develop internal wellness programs. Something like that would be really interesting, and we'd love to chat with any strategic or even individuals who are interested in having that conversation.
Fantastic. And as of this morning, you're at $9,248 US, meaning that you've got about $5,750 to go. But there's 22 days left, so there's plenty of time still to raise that capital. So why should people invest their hard-earned money to you?
I think for a lot of reasons. I think obviously you should invest because you want to get some samples of the bars because they're delicious and because you believe in the message that we're trying to disseminate here, which is the high-fat, low-carb diet. But probably the biggest reason to donate, even without getting a reward, is that, and really the reason we went to crowdfunding is that we wanted to test the market for a high-fat bar, and there is a huge following of individuals who follow what used to be the USDA guidelines. And they would be pretty against what we're trying to do, and us trying to get into retail markets so that when you go to your local 7-Eleven or whatever it is in the UK, seeing a bar like ours on the shelf and being able to pick it up and bring it to your office is really where we want to be. And we really need to be able to go to those retailers and say, hey, look, this is a high-fat bar, and guess what? The market's ready for it, and people are going to buy it, and people want it. And I think for anybody who sort of follows this movement, it's definitely something that you want as an eventuality. You want there to be this product out there, and so any help that you can give and just showing your support in terms of the number of individual funders that we have really helps us prove that concept. It gets me really excited about how big the movement is, and a huge part of this is about bringing sort of more people under the fold. And by coming out with a high-fat bar, we're really disrupting the space. When you look, I mean, there's loads of companies in the energy bar space, and if you just go to your local store and take a look at the shelf, you'll see that there's just dozens of bars, but all with a similar macronutrient profile. They all taste a little bit different, but they're all high in carbs, high in sugar, and we do a good job talking about that in our video. And so if you want another option, your support is really crucial in this campaign in terms of helping us get you that option where you're going to be able to buy it at a more realistic price and consistently.
Fantastic. And that's the thing that really gets me here, is that it's going to be really the first time that you're going to be promoting the fact that it is high in fat, and that's a beneficial thing. It's not got, like, a red traffic light on it and a pedestrian sign saying don't walk and stuff like that. It's literally saying, look, it's high in fat and that is good for you, by the way. And that's kind of the movement that we need. So the consumer behaviour really does change to seeing that low fat isn't necessarily good, and more than likely it's a bad thing if it's being promoted as low fat, and that full fat food is where we need to be at, full fat real food as well. And that's something else that's really important about this bar, is that it's real food as well. Yep.
Yeah, no, and we've done everything. I mean, if you look at our ingredient list, it's a Spartan ingredient list. It's made with things that you can make in your kitchen because that's all we had to get started. But also, like I said, because we know whole foods is really important. And when you start tinkering with sort of what's provided for you in terms of fruits and nuts and vegetables, and you start pulling things out synthetically, that's when you run into issues of not allowing your body to have a normal hormonal response to those foods. And so what we've done is we've combined them we've combined a certain amount of natural whole foods in a way that gets us the macronutrient profile we're looking for, but the hormonal response that you get should be sort of akin to eating those foods on their own. The processing that we've done is pretty minimal. It doesn't involve any heat or anything. It just involves throwing them in a blender and mashing them together. So the ratio is important for a lot of reasons, and you guys know that, and anybody who follows sort of the movement understands why that's a big deal. But yeah, the Spartan ingredient list is big, and it's all about, it's all in line with the calories in, calories out model, which we argue against here. Mm-hmm. And you actually, Sam, I was watching a few of your videos of the 5,000 calorie diets, which is outstanding. Mm-hmm. By the way, super interesting stuff, and I'm happy that someone has done that, so thank you. But yeah, it's about understanding that there's more to the biochemical processes that happen in your body than just understanding calories in, calories out. And no one is denying the laws of thermodynamics, but we are saying that there are some hormonal responses at work here that we need to pay attention to, as we move forward in nutrition. And there's a lot of individuals out there who are demonstrating the benefits of what we're talking about. So I think we're on the cusp of something that has the potential to be a lot larger than a sort of a small sect of nutritionists and dietitians and doctors that are saying this. And we're bringing more and more people under the fold every day. Cardiologists and sort of very learned scholars in the field are coming over to this side, and it's great to be where we are. It's an exciting time to be the founder of Phi.
That's fantastic, Nick. Absolutely fantastic. And if people want to get involved with Phi Bar, highly recommend going across to their Indiegogo page where you can find out all about it. It's a very comprehensive page, by the way, Nick. And if they go to smashthefat.com/PHI bar, then that'll take you through to that. And even if you're just going to give a selfless support of $5 or a fully fledged $1,000 for naming rights, or even just to watch the funny video that you guys have got, I highly recommend going over there and giving it a gander, as we say over here, which is just a look. But yeah, was there anything else that you wanted to leave us with today, Nick?
No, I mean, like I said, thank you so much for taking this time, Sam. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to be here with you, especially because I think that you've developed a great community around this idea and this ethos. And I really hope that we can get to our goal here, and that we can be on the shelves for guys who want to see this out there. Sorry, guys and girls who want to see this out there, and they have an opportunity to eat this way.
Fantastic, Nick. That's really, really good to hear, and good to hear that investment bankers aren't all money grabbing bastards. No,
we're mission driven.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. That's what it's all about. That's absolutely fantastic. So there's only one more thing to do, Nick, and that's to hear a "Smash It Out" from Nick Jasset all the way in Boston. So on the count of 3, I want you to shout "Smash it out" to the camera. So 1, 2, 3.
Smash it out!
That's what I'm talking about. Everybody go check out Phi Bar's Indiegogo fundraising page at smashthefat.com/PHI bar. And then even if you're just going to have a giggle at the video or put down $5 so that we can bring this to shelves marketed as high in fat, which is a good thing. Fantastic, Nick. Was there anywhere else that you wanted to direct people?
No, the Indiegogo page is perfect.
Ideal. Well, thanks again for your time today, Nick. And fingers crossed, in 3 weeks' time, we're going to have $15,000 to get Phi Bar off of the ground.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Fantastic, Nick. Thanks again, mate. And I'll see you soon.